What is going on, guys? It's Triple G here, back with another Outriders video, and today we're going to be looking at the Technomancer class. Now this class has a ton of gadgets which give him the edge on the battlefield, and he also has some healing skills that are going to mean that you're going to want this guy on your team. Guys, if you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week, and otherwise, let's get straight into this video. So where do we start with the Technomancer? The Technomancer is your gadget guy. He is the only class that can call upon weapons of destruction both in his hands and deploy on the battlefield, which can deal a ton of damage and sway the momentum of the fight. The Technomancer has a wide array of skills that kind of touch upon some of the other classes and some of their kind of specialized abilities, whilst also having one of the most powerful healing skills within the game. But we'll touch on that a little bit later. The Technomancer is going to appeal to such a wide array of players. If you like to sit back on the battlefield and snipe away, the Technomancer is for you. If you want to get up close and personal with a minigun or a rocket launcher, the Technomancer is for you. He can do a ton of damage from distance and up close and personal, whilst always being able to heal, because his unique ability is that he can heal off just damage dealt and does not require to actually kill an enemy, and does not require for him to actually be close at all. The Technomancer also possesses the skill for boss interrupt. So whenever you see that orange bar appear when you're fighting a named enemy or boss, you can actually interrupt that and then make the boss vulnerable for a follow-up attack. The Technomancer's unique abilities fall into 3 fundamentals. You have ordnance, you have gadget, and you have decay. The Technomancer's melee ability is unique in that when he melees enemies, he will freeze them, immobilizing them for a few seconds, which will come really handy on the battlefield. So let's cover first what makes the Technomancer so unique when it comes to the other classes. His standout signature thing is his healing. The other classes require you to get up close and personal with enemies and get a kill in order to recover armor or recover health. As you look into the Technomancer skill tree, you will see that he only requires to do damage to an enemy to actually recover health. So when you couple it in with some automated turrets or whatever else abilities that he has, you can start getting health back all the time, never having to worry about dying. It is truly a powerful skill. So we've talked about the healing. Now let's talk about the powers that the Technomancer has. Now the Technomancer has 8 skills, as we know. However, only 5 have been released to us so far. So let's start with the first one, and that is Power of Destruction. Now this again is very unique to the Technomancer and is actually 2 skills in one. Press a single press of the ability and you will pull out a rocket launcher, which will deal massive amount of damage to a single target. However, if you have multiple targets in front of you, if you hold down the button instead of a single press, you will pull out a minigun, meaning that this skill offers 2 different flavors to the battlefield depending on the scenario in front of you. The rocket launcher in particular is really interesting because it can interrupt an enemy when it's about to do an ability. You will notice when the enemy is about to do an ability, it will have an orange bar. The Technomancer can interrupt that with his rocket launcher, leaving the enemy vulnerable for a follow-up attack. The next ability we talk about is the Fixing Wave. Now on first glance, this doesn't look very fashionable, but actually it could be one of the most powerful skills in the game if you are a team player. Fixing Wave can heal you, your turrets, your gadgets, etc., and your teammates from any distance on the map. It is truly a get out of jail free card, and one that I think most players who choose Technomancer will eventually pick up. The next power that we're going to look at is Pain Launcher. Now this is one of the many constructed turrets that you can put on the battlefield. Pain Launcher works exactly like it sounds. You deploy it and it will fire a multitude of missiles at the enemies. Now one of the really interesting things about this one is that it can interrupt bosses, which is really useful. And remember, if you deploy this somewhere on the battlefield, every single time you are damaging enemies, you're actually converting a little bit of that into health, so it will help you stay alive on the battlefield. The next power we're going to look at is the Blighted Turret. Again, this is another constructed turret. However, this one is more of a constant stream of damage, no reload time. It is going to fire what looks like vomit just straight onto enemies, and it actually can inflict the status effect Toxic, which will actually deal damage over time to help you whittle down those enemies when needed. Next on the list for abilities that we're going to be looking at is Cold Snap. Now, Cold Snap might be one of the most underrated skills when it comes to Outriders. It's not as flashy as some of the other skills, doesn't actually kill anything, but just in terms of straight up usability, can get you out of jail free. It is really, really good. It will freeze enemies like it sounds. Literally that. Run headfirst into a ton of enemies, cold snap them, and then mop them up with your minigun or any other weapon. Have an enemy chasing you and be very, very close to dying. Freeze them, give you that moment's respite, and then boom, guy's dead. Next. So let's go into the skill trees then for the Technomancer. As with all the skill trees within Outriders, you're going to be able to respec on the fly. So no costs, nothing like that. You'll be able to respec on the fly. If you're getting into any difficulties, you're going to be able to just tweak that build to get you through that piece of content. The skill trees are split into 3 branches as per normal, and the 3 branches are Pestilence, Tech Shaman, and Demolition. The Pestilence is all about boosting your damage and your damage output with weapons. So there are plenty of buffs to sniper rifles, for example. So if you like to sit there at the back of the field and take people's domes, basically, that one's for you. The Tech Shaman is all about boosting your turret damage and any indirect damage you have. So it will boost your Cold Snap, it will boost your toxin damage, and it also has a unique ability. One of the capstones is that it will effectively give you a self-res that will pick you up, get you back into the fight. Incredible skill there. The final branch is Demolisher, and this one is just kind of, as it says, a jack of all trades. This skill tree will boost a ton of your skills, your weapon damage, your ability damage, your healing, will give you an all-round effect, making you feel super, super powerful on the battlefield, and also boosts the amount of toxin damage you do. So there you have it, guys. The Technomancer is a really good all-round class, has one of the best healing, has some of the best gadgets, can interrupt bosses, and can even revive himself sometimes when he's down. Guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel or join us over on Twitch. We stream 5 times a week, and otherwise, I'll catch you on the flip.